In terms of the stigma, I'll tell you a story. I was coaching an executive from a bank. The bank was going through mergers at the time. So the senior team got together, and they're waiting for the CEO to come to the meeting. And they start to talk. And they're telling about how they don't have any work-life balance and how stressed they are and how there's too much on their plate. And they're all, commiserating and agreeing. The meeting starts when the CEO comes, and the CEO says, "How are you doing with all the extra pressure and all the extra work?" And the one woman that I was coaching says the truth, that she was stressed, that there was too much on her plate, everything that the group had said. The CEO then says, after listening to her, "Are the rest of you feeling the same?" Nobody said a word. Now, that was 20 years ago. I thought that things had changed. Here we are, mindfulness, awareness. There's more emphasis these days on taking care of yourself. Yet, I've recently had an experience with a vice president of human resources who was extremely stressed. I suggested to him that he start a program of self-care. And then once he started getting some improvements, to share that program and his experience of being stressed with his team, which would then give them permission to talk about their own stress. He was unwilling to do it. He's not alone. I was supposed to do a webinar for a bunch of CEOs of a different industry, and they all said, after a while, they said, "No, we're too busy." Say they don't want to have to deal with their stress. The reason is that we think it's kind of like survival of the fittest, We take a look at stress as saying we're vulnerable. And if we're vulnerable, we're incompetent. We're unable to do our job. We're not promotable. What is our board going to say about us, So what CEOs and what executives and then everyone under does is not admit to the stress, or if they do, they kind of laugh it off, fluff it off. It's not a real issue. It's getting more airtime these days, but still people are afraid to admit to what they're really feeling.
Well, I can see in that first example there was a fear of speaking truth to power, but we tend to wear it as a badge of honor.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Do you think that's a more cultural thing here in the United States, or in dealing with some of the companies abroad, have you seen the same type of reluctance?
Yes, I have. And particularly when, in the U.S., there's that individualism. In some countries, there's more emphasis on the we than on the individual. So to not be that team player, to not have the strength or the power or the competence, it would be very damaging to someone's reputation and very shaming for people. That needs to change. We need to talk about it more. And I know that leaders are checking in with their teams more and asking them how they're doing and all of that. And that's wonderful. But I'm not sure that people are really feeling psychologically safe enough to truly tell the truth. They might tell a little bit of it, but not necessarily how much it's affecting them. So when we take a look at statistics, we're seeing that more mental health problems, more addiction problems, more domestic violence problems as the stress builds up.